Hello, everyone. Welcome to, welcome to the present, because we're talking about the past. Welcome to Laughs from the Past, laughing in the present about the past. My name is Jimmy. My co-host is Jake. I'm going to tell Jake a story he's never heard that's true in history, according to historians. And you're going to hear it too. And then we'll have some fun, I guess. You ready, Jake?
Am I even a host? I think I'm like a live audience.
You're like a surrogate audience member.
Yeah.
You get to ask questions.
We'll do one like Freaky Friday episode where I tell a tale, and you'll be like, I already know that.
All right, let's get into it. Laughs from the past. We have a name now, and we have an introduction song that I made. It's probably playing underneath right now.
What do you got, Jim?
We are going all the way back, Jake, to 371 BC.
Ooh, good times.
Before Christ.
No iPhones, still Blackberries and stuff. I got you.
Yep, way in the dark ages of technology. Okay, now I'm just gonna read this opening to you.
Sure.
Put you right in the zone, okay?
Feed me.
And then I got more details. The Spartans of Greece.
Ooh.
Were among the most famous and fearsome warriors of all time. Never have there been a people more single-mindedly devoted to the military arts. Spartan boys were taken from home to attend military school at age 7, and every male between 20 and 60 had to serve in the armed forces. The result was that Sparta fielded the most powerful military force in all of Greece. That's just the pre stuff.
Preamble.
Yeah, preamble. Now, you ready?
I like Sparta. I was always into the Greek city-states.
Okay. Well, have you ever heard of the Thebes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Haven't been.
Well, here we go. Nevertheless, the vaunted Spartan army was defeated by the Thebes at the Battle of Leuctra in 371 BC. No way I pronounced Leuctra right, but we'll say I did. How would you say it?
How's it spelled?
Leuctra.
Leuctra.
In 371. Okay, you ready? The turning point in the battle came when an elite Theban military unit known as the Sacred Band led a breakthrough against the Spartan right wing. Famed for both its fighting ability and its unusual makeup, the Sacred Band consisted of 300 soldiers who all had something in common. They were gay.
Okay. So, and that's fine. 300, is this related to the movie? Is the movie loosely based on any of this?
No, I think that's just a common number
just
for...
a weird coincidence?
I think it's probably a common number for a, like, I don't know what you want to say, like a battalion or a company of whatever their grouping was for military. 300 fell on a number.
Your finest gay men.
Yes. Okay, I'll finish and then we'll talk about it. This one-of-a-kind unit consisted of 150 homosexual couples.
Ooh, so you couldn't be single.
No, because that's a nightmare.
Or a dream.
Got any thoughts yet?
Okay. So we've got 300 people, 150 couples of the best gay fighters in Thebes.
My first thought was, there's no way they're paired off perfectly in 150 couples.
Yeah, that's why I said, like, were couples a full-out thing then? Or, I mean, are these gay guys just, passing the torch, if you will?
There's just no way. There had to be one guy that was like, yeah, I mean, I guess it's like when you do a group project and you didn't get out of your seat, and then at the end you just look around for the other person that didn't get out of their seat, and then your group project, like your partners for the group project, and then in Thebes it was like, okay, I guess we're fucking and fighting together now.
No, not like that at all. But
what do you think?
I'm thinking people like made phony couples to be part of this gay fighting group.
They were like, oh yeah, we're dating. We're totally dating. We're in. Let us in. We're dating.
They were all probably gay. I don't think it was, like you said, it wasn't paired off perfectly. There were some couples, yeah, but everyone else was swinging.
The idea was that every man would be motivated to fight to his maximum ability, both to protect his lover and to avoid shaming himself in front of his lover. What do you think? So, should they put wives on the sidelines of the war now?
Like nowadays, what are you talking?
Like if their whole thing is if their lover's there, they'll be too ashamed to die, so they'll fight better. So like the Civil War, they picnicked the first battle. You just put all your loved ones on the sideline and fight better because you don't want to die in front of your loved ones. Is that a good military tactic we're not doing right now?
Bad military tactic.
You don't like that?
No.
Okay. The Sacred Band stood undefeated for more than 30 years when it finally came overcoming a battle. So this was like the history version, like condensed and publicized. So then I did some searching, okay, to find out what's the real story here. Were they really gay? Did they really have 150 couples? Because that to me was like, no.
So 30 years, I mean, people have died in battle. I'm guessing, like, oh, your partner dies, you have to leave the battalion now? Definitely not.
No way, because you're a good fighter. So you just get a new lover.
Right. Yeah.
So that doesn't really jive with the whole you're fighting for your lover's honor thing, because you just got a brand new lover. Oh, my lover died. Give me a new one. I'll fight for his honor.
And if they're like so elite, were guys like lining up, like, oh, yeah, Jimmy's partner died during war. We got a spot on the Thebes gay team.
Okay, so you're hosting tryouts for your new boyfriend / fighting partner.
The dream.
What are you taking into account most? His fighting ability, his soft lips, the comfort of his cuddle?
It's fighting ability first.
That's smart.
Because you don't want to, A, they might have to save your life. B, you don't want to be the guy that brought in the bad fighter into the Thebes prestigious gay military.
Everyone's ragging on you like you just chose him because of his hair, and we know it.
Yeah, he's got beautiful eyes. Great pick, but you're dead.
You can't fight for shit, and now we're all suffering.
Yeah. That
must have been really tough.
Might as well roll out there with $2.99 instead of that guy.
So here's a little more info on how it worked. The 300 handpicked men were chosen by Gorgidas purely for ability and merit, regardless of social class. Yeah.
So Gorgidas is a person.
Gorgidas.
And he just got to pick whichever gays he wanted to be in there.
Goes to the king of Thebes. I've got an idea for myself.
Yeah. So, okay.
Okay, this is how it worked. It was comprised of 150 male couples, each pair consisting of an older Arastis, which meant lover, and a younger Aramas, which meant beloved. So there was a bunch of old warrior dudes basically picking young warrior dudes that were also, like the young warrior dudes didn't have any say.
This was like a country club where you pick a gay guy to fight for you.
Yeah, it's basically
like totally the old guys. You hit a certain age, you become one of the old guys, and you're set for life. Like the young guys go first in battle. You get to pick like your hot new young guy.
Yep. The Sacred Band was being composed of lovers and their favorites. So yes, but then it says they were stationed in the city-state for a while, and they were just the defense against foreign people. So like, okay, we'll put all the couples and the lovers there, and they'll just defend it. So they didn't go out to war.
Yeah, this is a country club.
This is like a gay country club for Thebes. They were like,
yeah. These guys are such good fighters. Yeah, we're just going to keep them here.
Let's keep them here. They can stay in the villa with me, and then they'll just defend the whole city at night. Give me the youngest, cutest one. He's a good fighter, right? I'll take him.
Yeah, look at those calves. Yeah, he's okay.
Their regular training included wrestling and dance.
Okay.
That's real.
Did these guys fight a battle?
Yes, they did. Eventually, they became the best. Like, they were actually the best troop. They spearheaded every battle. They were like the tip that would cut the snake's head off.
I bet.
They said the young people were likely 20, and the older people were likely 30. So it's not that much of a difference, but still makes sense. They're all fighting in the end.
It's like a 10-year entrance fee.
Okay, so there's 3 battles I'm going to talk about because only there's interesting parts of these battles.
Do you think guys wanted to be a part of the club in Thebes?
Like the 20-year-old.
So, back in old Thebes, was everyone kind of gay? Like,
Yeah,
there were
Plato's.
some people like, hey, I'm a pretty badass fighter. I just like chicks. I'm sorry, man.
So, like, being gay back then was accepted. Plato has a quote: "Only mongrels don't accept gayness. It's sophisticated. It's like not accepting modern science."
The bathhouses and all that. So
So it wasn't about homosexuality. It was about like fighting for your lover for real. The couples thing was more of the idea than the gay thing.
okay.
So should wives have to join the army?
I mean, if that's where you're going with this, no.
But this is actually completely different because in the U.S., like you can't like fight with your siblings. After
Right.
after they made what's that move? Saving Private Ryan is made after a real case where 3 of 4 brothers died in World War II, so it's a new thing. But
Right.
this theory by the Thebes is the complete opposite, basically. Like you have to fight with the ones you love the most because you'll fight better.
I mean, I get the concept to a degree.
If you're with your family and best friends, and there's a burglar with a gun or like an armed man, right, comes to terrorize your house or breaks in or something, is your reaction different than if you're like on a train with a group of strangers?
What?
Okay, you're on a train. A guy with a gun gets in there.
The scenario made no sense to me.
You're on a train, okay?
Okay.
A guy with a gun comes into the train. He's like, everyone put your hands up, blah, 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 yelling. He's not shooting anyone. He's just screaming and yelling. Sure. Rob everyone. If you're coming home from work and you don't know a single soul on the train, versus if you're coming home from like a family event in the city and you're with all your friends and your family, is your reaction response different to the situation?
No, possum both times. Easy.
Okay, well then you're not cut out for the lover fighting group of the thieves.
Still don't love your examples there.
I think most people would say their reaction would be different.
Something into protecting your loved ones more than strangers. Yes.
Okay, well there you go. That's what the thieves were saying. This is pretty good. So their first battle with the Spartans, who are like the best ever.
All right.
Spartans came to Thebes. They're fighting for all of Greece, and they ride in, and the sacred band is with the Athenians. They're paired up, and the sacred band is on the very front ranks. They're protecting the city of Thebes. So the Spartans begin their advance at the king's order, slowly approaching Theban defenders. When the Spartans got within 200 meters, Chabrias then gave his famous command to stand at ease, causing his mercenaries to all assume the resting posture. So they're charging the city, right? They right. charge, they get really close, they stop. Thebes still have the high ground because they're in the city.
Sure.
So the sacred band leader just says, "Okay, we'll stop too.
Yeah.
You have more people than us, and like this is our city, so we'll just stop too." The Spartan.
I feel this is was it a Civil War battle where they had the guys march backwards to make it look like they were going away, but they were actually coming towards them?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff like that in the Art of War, the Chinese stuff.
Yeah, like that.
Well, so the Spartan king was so stunned at the audacity for them to do the same thing and not charge when they were so close that the two armies just stood there looking at each other for like hours, and then eventually the Spartans went home, which is the best battle ever for the Thebes.
Just staring at each other.
Just staring at each other like, we just got really close to you. Aren't you going to come kill us? No. We were only going to kill you if you came and ransacked our city. We're kind of cool with you. It's like they drew a line in the sand and we're like, don't cross this line. And Spartans were trying to like poke that line, and the Thebes were like, no, we don't care, man. Just.
Do you think there was like shit talking or like rock throwing or anything?
Ooh. Do you think a rock throw like starts something? Because if they're just chucking rocks at each other and like, but that's not enough to advance the troops. So they're just whipping rocks at each other. Can you throw a rock 200 meters?
I don't think so.
I need my American brain to translate that into feet or yards.
It's 1/8 of a mile.
Yeah, that's really close. Right?
I mean, shades of gray. I don't think you could throw a rock that far. No.
Okay. Wouldn't that be like half a lap?
Yes,
Okay. So you could maybe catapult a rock?
could, but I think that means you're fighting.
Yeah. So I think they couldn't. So our dream of them just throwing rocks at each other is kind of not there. They're just standing and looking at each other.
Okay, like it.
And then the Spartans went home. So that was the first big battle for the band of sacred Thebes.
So that was a battle.
Well, it was
We're recording that as a battle nowadays.
no. In the history book as the standoff with the Spartans.
Okay, it's an encounter.
It's an encounter. The Spartan soldiers had to be pretty pissed. Like, what the fuck was that, boss?
Yeah.
You just marched just to stare at them and then left?
How far of a march are we talking too?
Probably pretty far. It's not like they came from, a mile away.
Yeah.
They got out of their house and walked over to the neighbors and stared at them for a while and walked back.
So why didn't they attack? Why did nobody attack? I get why Thebes didn't.
Thebes didn't attack because,
We're just protecting our shit.
yeah, I guess Spartan didn't think they could win without the high ground,
Okay.
which is dumb. Like, okay, well, they're smart.
Why do we come here?
Yeah. All right. The second battle is the Battle of Tegira. Tegira. On the way back home, so they did something, and then they encountered Spartans returning from a neighboring city. Between 1,000 and 1,800 enemy soldiers surrounded the sacred band, outnumbering them more than 2-1. One of the Thebians remarked to his leader, Pelopidas, "We are fallen into our enemies' hands." To which he replied, "And why not they into ours?"
Sure.
Wow. There's a quote from Band of Brothers, which is my favorite show ever, and the Band of Brothers were surrounded in the Battle of Bastogne in Germany, and they were like, they got us surrounded. What idiots. Because they're paratroopers. They were meant to be surrounded. That's like what all their training was for. Pretty good quote.
Right.
Same thing from here. So the Spartans confidently charged. The tightly formed sacred band punctured a hole through their enemy lines and killed the leaders almost immediately. So the band of gays were not fucking around. They're like, why would we
know anything? Do we know anything about their strength? Do they have like good shields? Do they have longer weapons?
I do not.
They just had love.
Just had love for each other.
Love. Okay.
Yeah, companionship. Warmer nights. Without leadership and facing the elite force, the Spartans were completely stunned. So the Spartans just so dumb. Just
I like it. Like, okay, we're just gonna kill all these guys, and then the first wave falls through, and they're like, "Oh shit,
we don't know what to do now because the Thebes
no
killed our
plan
leader."
B.
Hey, guy, you just killed our leader. That's who we take instructions from. What the fuck?
Not cool.
Not cool. So the Spartans opened their ranks up in the middle to allow the Thebes through. Like, okay, because they were just. It wasn't a planned battle. They just kind of saw each other.
Right.
Like, they were walking by each other, and they're like, hey, we should fight.
Shoot.
We got 2,000, you got 300 or whatever, let's fight.
Yeah.
You know what? This is so off subject. I read a joke from The Simpsons. The guy who Ron Swanson is supposed to be based off was a writer for The Simpsons, who there's only one picture known of him, and he was like super Ron Swanson eccentricus. And one of his famous lines that he wrote, which is so basic, is there's a bar fight, and the one guy says, "Hey you, let's fight," and the other guy responds, "Them's fighting words." So that's what happened here with.
That's what happened.
That's what happened with the Thebes and the Spartans. Like, oh hey, we should fight. Like, them's fighting words. Yeah. So they fought. So then the Spartans like, oh yeah, we're outnumbered. Let's go charge at them. Leaders decapitated right away. The rest of the Spartans like, never mind. We don't want nothing. We're out. This
we weren't already ready for this.
Yeah, this wasn't planned. We jumped the gun. We apologize.
Totally hated that leader.
Yeah, thank you. You did us a favor.
I think that's fabricated like over time. Like the Spartans were like, yeah, this guy is a dick and we hate him. Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's do this random battle. Okay. You go first. We're right behind you.
Yes. I love that. There's probably so many cases of war where Exactly what you're just saying. The Spartans were all standing there, and their leader was like, "There's some thieves! There's some thieves! Let's fucking go kill those thieves!" And the whole Spartan
Like,
crew was like,
we're almost home. We don't
yeah,
want to do this. I'm tired.
yeah. And then they're like, you know what? Actually, though, they start whispering to them, no, 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 no. Let's have him go. Let's just have him go. We'll stay behind.
Yeah.
They're like, actually, leader, dude, we're totally with you. Like,
Yeah.
lead the way. Charge.
Start this off.
He charges into the band of merry gays. They kill him right away. And then the Spartans are like, hey, man, we're good. We didn't want to do that. There's definitely cases where like that is how it went down.
Make an alley for these gays so they can get home.
Yeah. So they did. They made an alley.
Yeah.
And as the Thebes went through, they were like, we'll just kill you, though. And then they killed them.
Everyone.
Instead, Polypidas pressed his advantage and ordered the sacred band to attack the Spartans attack the Spartan exposed flank. The Thebians routed the enemy in one swift movement, killing scores of Spartans in the process. When the battle ended, the Thebians stripped the dead and created a tropane, a commemorative trophy left at the site of the great victory before returning to the safety of Thebes. Now, I didn't Google what a tropane is because I was kind of scared. It sounds like a statue of dead bodies.
Yeah.
So I'm going to Google it now, though, and we'll see what it is. Okay. So looks like they formed all the bodies into like the shape of a torso.
Okay.
Because that's what trophies were. They were just like armor on a stick, basically. Okay, so they messed them up pretty good. So that was their first real battle. It was an accident. They killed the leaders, and then they crushed them.
Yeah, there's a lot of parts from like the movie 300 kind of in this, just like the other way around. 300 guys, they fought off everyone. They made like a human body shield thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then their biggest battle was the Battle of Leuctra, which we already said.
Right.
All right. But nothing really happened there. They just crushed them. So they're like hot shit for 3 years.
So Thebes is 2-0 over Sparta right now. Well,
Yeah.
2-0-1, one draw.
Yeah, and they just go back and they wrestle and dance and hang out and have fun.
Well, that's training.
That was training, all the wrestling and the dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then comes the Battle of Charania. Charania. That sounded good. Charania.
Your face doesn't look good when you're saying it.
Charania.
Yeah.
Okay. Despite the sacred band's massive victories in the past, the traditional hoplite structure of the band was sorely out of date by 338 BC. Man, the times moved quick. How quick did the times move back then?
So that's what I'm saying. They clearly in those first 2.5 battles had some sort of strategic advantage that the Trojans had never thought about. I don't know if it was like
that. It was love.
It could have been love, or maybe it's that like the shield formation where you got the spears coming through, so like you can't hit anyone. Like maybe the Thebes guys invented that.
So actually,
and then the Trojans ditched and were like, "Yo, we got to learn something to beat that."
So that's actually why they got defeated. Because they had hoplites, which is kind of like just spears, right? And then it says the Macedonians utilized a new long-speared phalanx.
Yeah.
So imagine that, like it took like 30 years, and it was like, hey, maybe if we make our spears longer than their spears, we can kill them before they kill us. That's
one of the original arms races.
that was pretty good. That's how bad technology was then. It took them so long. If our spears reach their body before their spears reach us, we'll kill them first.
Bingo.
Oh, you didn't think of that. Gets to like eventually one battle, this like they showed up with just like 100-foot spear, like thinking like it was the best thing ever, and they just rode around it and then killed them.
That's the thing. I think they had the long spear, but they didn't like perfect it. Like, so guys would just get past the spear and be like, then they'd be useless. When that's what I'm picturing the Spartans. 20-foot spear, guys get around it, and then they're done.
Yeah. Well, the sacred band, surrounded and overwhelmed, refused to surrender despite facing impossible odds. The Macedonian forces eventually wore down the sacred band, killing all 300 of their last commander, Thebes. And that was the end of the sacred band. Fucking lost. No more love.
That was it.
No more love.
They were like, we're not starting a new one. That was a whole thing.
It was a whole thing. Yeah. I don't know if we can form the couples. But they did stay and fight. Like everyone else surrendered, the people they were like partners with. Because it wasn't just the 300 of them there. There was a bunch of other people. They surrendered or retreated. And the sacred band, because, you can't leave your loved one.
Yeah. That's also one of those like, oh, we don't want to be enforced into slavery by the Spartans, so we might as well scratch and claw.
Yeah, I think they just took you in and they're like, now you fight for us. Very weird. I don't know what they did.
I don't think so, man. I think it's like death or slavery back then.
So that defeat was pretty big because the Sacred Band of Thebes was widely regarded as being an invincible killing machine throughout all of ancient Greece. If the highly regarded Sacred Band couldn't defeat the Macedonian phalanx, who could? Greek military leaders quickly learned that their old style of warfare would not work going forward. Old style of warfare, a.k.a. they had shorter spears.
Shorter spears.
So
just normal. You fight a guy, I'll fight a guy.
Let's turn this into a movie.
Okay. 300, but gay. Done.
I think you need... Yeah, that's fine. 300 per game, done. You need to get a little further than that. We need a love story. So, okay, the last person to die was Thebes, was the last gay guy.
Yep.
I need every lover dying in each other's laps.
Do you think there were any, okay, we're outnumbered. This is the end. My lover just died. Do you think there was any people taking the easy way out?
That doesn't sound like Ultimate Warriors, like kill yourself instead of die. I think you need
Sounds like true love, though.
Yeah, it's Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, you need to die of honor, though. What about this? What about this plot line? A straight man infiltrates because he just wants to fight with the best. And they're like, we can't have you. You're not gay. And he has to rise up against that discrimination of being straight and prove his worth even though he's not gay. And they just pick on him all the time. There's they go through a town and they just point at the women and laugh like, ha, I guess this is why we came here. And then he wins their respect. He's the last one to die with Thebans.
Okay, so there's like a Mulan aspect. He earns his keep.
Yes.
He earns his gay keep, and then they come to love and respect him.
Yes. He's like the token straight guy in the 300 Sacred Band.
Or maybe the whole theme of the movie is you can't be a good fighter if you're a straight man, and this guy wants to break the mold.
Yeah, he's like, I don't believe in love, but I believe in fighting, and they're like, no, you can't. We're the best fighters in the world because we love each other.
So I'm doing a totally different movie. Your movie sounds nice. I'm not gonna see it.
Okay, what's your movie?
My movie is, similar thing of what we talked about, but a Spartan warrior survives one of the battles, falls in love. They pretend he's a Theban guy. He comes back, he joins the Thebe team, and then he gets killed by his ex-lover from Sparta.
Okay, that's awesome. So the first battle, this Spartan and this Theban both got injured. Laying on the battlefield, left for dead. They both come up from their wounds, and they're not dead. And it's just them two and all their dead brethren. And they find their way. They're like, hey. And they find their way to civilization together. So they have a little buddy journey is the first act.
Yes.
It's these two guys walking through the woods, blah, blah, blah. Oh, well we're gay.
They were both left for dead. My lover died. Come back to Thebes.
Yep.
I'll hook you up. Thebes, when he gets back to Thebes, they hate him.
Wait, hold on.
He's
This
not a Theban.
this guy was actually a Gael that the Spartans made fight with them. So he's not even loyal to Sparta. He was just had to fight with them, so that makes it a little easier for him to leave Sparta.
See, I don't like that. I like that he was a Spartan, and so like Thebes doesn't want to accept him. So there's like the adversity. He almost becomes the earn your keep gay guy.
Does he have to sleep with a man?
Ooh, how about this? He's not. They pretend he is, but then he ends up falling for the guy.
Yeah, so
and then like in the final scene, there's like a kiss and they die.
Here's a romantic slapstick comedy, not slapstick, romantic comedy.
Okay.
So
rom-com.
So he's not gay, but say their names are Mike and Joe. Joe is the Thebe that was left for dead. Mike is the Spartan that was left for dead. Joe's gay, obviously. He's a sacred band.
Sure.
Mike's not. But they find each other. They do the buddy cop through the woods where they encounter some smugglers, bad guys. They have to fight together to beat off these people until they finally find the Thebes. The Spartan dude, I don't know how much Joe wins Mike over to get him to go Thebes, because he's got to turn on Sparta. That's the hard part for me.
Right.
Writing-wise, to convince the audience. Anyway.
He was one of the Spartans that hated the former leader and convinced him to get killed by the Thebes guy. Like he was the guy.
He has a personal vendetta against the leaders of Sparta. Okay, now we've got it. The end, right before the last battle, they finally accept him. They have to fake gay, but he's not actually committed to it, because he's like, no, dude, I'm not really gay. Like, I like you. You're a real great guy, but I mean, maybe I love you, but we're like not that way. Before the first battle, Mike turns to Joe, gives him a big, fat, wet kiss. Let's do this. Joe's like come to moment, like, oh.
Yes.
I found my new lover in this band of the sacred band. They go fight hand in hand, die hand in hand on the field.
Right.
Maybe it's the same exact field where they met. It's like a battle part 2 in our movie.
Done. Film it.
All right, great. What are you going to call
it? 300 Thebes gay.
Gay war. War of the gays.
Yeah.
Fucking and fighting.
It's always a good movie.
All right, that's it. That's the sacred band of Thebes. Did you know about them beforehand?
I did not. A lot of this stuff from ancient Greece is kind of why we're doing that. Like, I don't know. I think a lot of those stories have been fabricated over time a little bit.
I would think so. Very hard
to... Like, a lot of it.
Yeah.
Like, 300 guys taking on 2,000.
I don't understand. We read these
just think about that. Like, the first thing you read, it was like, well, they said it was between 1,100 and 1,800. That's kind of like when young guys brag about, like, how many girls they were with. Okay, they were probably outnumbered. Like, I'm saying it was like 300 to 500. But by the time they got back to Thebes, oh, my God. Yeah, everyone killed, like, 4 guys. It was nuts.
Everything gets grander in the retelling.
Yeah.
I don't understand when they do battles, like, the right flank went first. Fuck, what are you, in a helicopter watching? What do you know? What are you talking about?
Right? That's all of this story gets written by a scribe who is translating it from a lying meathead after the fact. Oh, yeah. The right flank came first.
That was a center flank. It was the center.
We killed those guys, and then we outflanked the flank.
It's crazy, man. We killed their leader right away. They're so fucking scared. They surrendered.
Did I say 1,000? It was like 2,000. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it. We wrote a damn good movie. Send that to Hollywood. Mike and Joe, Spartan and Thebe. Just some Grease love. Grease lightning.
Greasy love.
That's all. Laughs from the past. We'll be back next week with another story from history I don't have yet. Maybe, do you have a request, Jake? Do you want a music one, a science one, a U.S. president? Or do you just want me to keep going random?
Just follow your heart, man. Just like Mike and Joe.
That's a good ending. We'll end it there. Bye.
Like that?